Let go blues?
Let's go Blues.
What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo.
Canadian.
I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
And aloha! Welcome to the BlueNote Fan Report. I am Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and this is your post-game show. A good, solid 4-1 win for the Blues. They did what they had to do. Could they have done better? I think so. But hey, now the magic number is 15. 15 points. That's right, 7.5 wins, and it could drop. It could drop tonight. However, in Vancouver, or in Vegas, Vancouver is down 1-0 on a Jack Eichel goal. Yes, that Jack Eichel. But, you know, it is what it is. Fault, third star. I'm kind of checking out the stars right now. Robert Thomas gets the second star. I think I got that right. Hope I do. Maybe, maybe not. I'm hoping I got it right. Oh, no. Thomas was the first star. I'm sorry. Falk was second star. I didn't see the other star yet. It'll pop up here. I didn't see the third star. Maybe you did. Good, solid game for the Blues. I mean, just to be honest, it was a good, solid game for the Blues. It's what they needed. You needed these points. You have, and my fear, and I didn't talk about this because I didn't want it to come true, was that they were going to be looking forward to Friday. And they didn't. They came out, they played, they did something that they haven't done all season, except I think the last time they did it was the Winter Classic. They came out and played the game to them. Took it to them right off the first 10 minutes, didn't sit back and let them figure out what they were going to do. They said, we're going to play our game now. And they did. And you know what? It cultivated in a win. That's the kind of win you take, right? Kyrou gets off the snide. O'Reilly gets it. Thomas now has 16 goals. O'Reilly has 17 goals. You do have a solid chance of having nine guys with 20 goals. And I got to tell you, Lance, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or any of that, but if you remember back in January, I talked about this. Right? I talked about this. 963 from Villy. Villy did have had a good game. That one goal wasn't against him. He probably should have gotten the shutout, but you know, a bad bounce happens. You take it where you can get it. I still think that this would have been a perfect game to put
Bennington
in.
Yeah, I do too.
Because you could have had put Bennington play tonight.
Yeah.
Uso play Friday and then have Bennington play Saturday against the Isles.
Huso's never played this many games.
I know, and I'm worried about him breaking down. I really am. He hasn't yet.
Yeah. You know, tonight, and you and I have talked about it, Guy and Ashley, we've talked about it too, is the difference between a great goalie and a good goalie is minuscule. It's very tiny. And Bennington's got the same skill set as Huso does. The problem is it's between his ears right now. Mm-hmm. And
I'd agree with that.
Everybody wants to play Huso 9 out of 10 games. Well, here's the issue with that. Number one, is he going to wear down? Number two, is something going to happen to him? And then we got to put Bennington in. And Bennington wasn't allowed to get right in the regular season. I know these points are important. Yes. But if you want to have a good 1-2, 1A, 1B punch, which I think the Blues got, Bennington has to play more than one game every 10 games. He's got to play a couple games in a row. I'm a goalie, and I'm going to tell you the worst thing for me was if I played 2 games in 10 games. It's not good for your psyche. It's not good for your skill set. Practice is great, guys, but practice isn't a game. But I understand why Berube's playing Huso. He's the hot hand, and but you got to look at it this way. Points are important, but at least try to play Bennington 2 games in a row. Let's see what he can do 2 games in a row.
Yeah. And I think, well, I thought tonight, Husso, Bennington. So
Yep.
you had Bennington tonight. You have Friday against Minnesota. That is a huge,
Yep. Husso.
huge 2 points.
Yep. Husso.
Right? So you put Husso there, and then you
Yep.
have the back-to-back with
Islanders.
the Islanders.
Yep.
That's a good. That would have given Bennington some solid games, and you would have known what he's got. Now, the thing is tonight's game, as nice as it is, in the overall scheme of things, didn't freaking matter. Right? Did not matter a bit. And the reason I say that is, even if you lost, you were still within that 4-point margin. Right? Now, they'd have had a game in hand, and it'd have been 3 points instead of 1, but you played them twice. You play them twice. And as long as you stay in that 4-point margin, that's all that matters. And not only that, I think that, Lance, you going through your treatment could have beaten Seattle tonight. Right? I mean,
yeah, you know, they got what was it? I think Seattle had 25 or 26 shots somewhere in that range.
Let me look real quick.
I think it was in the mid to upper 20s.
Yeah, let me look at the game stats here real quick. Got to blow it up so I can see it a little bit. Okay, so here's the game stats. We'll go over them. Seattle ended up with 29 shots. They had 12 blocked, and they missed the net 19 times. 19 times. They took, almost 60 attempts on net.
Yep.
Right? Husso goes 28 for 29. Really great. They had 19 hits, 5 giveaways, and this number blows my mind. 19 takeaways. They ended up winning the face-off battle. It got a lot closer, 24-22 for 50%, 52% to 48. The Blues ended up taking 36 shots, had 7 blocked, missed the net 9 times, had 24 hits, gave the puck away 10 times, and only took it 11. You know, in some areas, Seattle did play a good game, right?
Yeah, it wasn't the perfect game, but like I said on Twitter, you can tell why the Blues are a playoff team in the third period and why Seattle isn't. You can just tell that. And hey, you know what you do with a young team like Seattle? You tell them, I don't care if you miss the net, you try to put pucks on net, because you've got to try to do that, because you don't have necessarily the talent to hang in every game. So what do? You put as many pucks on the net that you can, and if some of them miss, they miss. So I fully understand why Seattle took so many shots and so many chances.
Yeah. No, and that's, you know, taking attempts is not a bad thing.
No.
Trust me, it's not a bad thing. You know, Seattle did not play a bad game tonight. They were outmatched from the opening faceoff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right? And you know, here's that narrative that gets out there. Oh, my goodness, the Blues play down to the bottom 10 teams. They don't. They play right at the same number, and they did it. They showed it tonight. They showed it tonight. Now, the only thing that makes this a little different is I really would have seen how it would have been with Grubauer in that. Right? Because, you know, it's obvious that Grubauer is a much better goalie, but he would have been hung out to dry a couple of times too. Could he have kept the game closer? I don't know, but it would have been nice. It would have been nice to see. The Blues schedule between now and the end of the season is very ripe for them to end up in second. Right? Very, very ripe. I see it. The fact that they play the Avalanche and Vegas the last 2 games, and by that time it won't matter for either one of those teams. Right? Those are almost dead on wins, I think. Right? I mean, if I'm the Avalanche coming up, playing the Blues 2 days are 4 days, a week before the playoffs start. Playing the Blues, a heavy hitting team like the Blues, I'm resting guys. All my big guys are resting. I'm putting an AHL roster out there if I can. Right? I mean, anybody that can rest is going to rest. And if you're Vegas, now Vegas might be a little bit different of a story. They might be playing for some pride there, especially since they've never lost in the playoffs before. But they have nothing to play for, and just playing for pride sometimes doesn't get it for me. I still think that the Blues are a solid, better team than Vegas and a better they can be, if they play right, as good as, if not better than the Avalanche. And yes, I said that.
Yeah, and I think you and I both, I think Ashley picked the Blues 1 and the Avalanche 2. But at the beginning of the season, when we had the prediction show, you and I both, I picked the Avalanche 1 and the Blues 2.
Yes, I think I did too.
Yeah, I think you did too. And, you know, I think when
it's still possible.
Yeah,
it's not probable, but it is possible.
They would have to win almost 95% of their games.
No, they'd have to win,
and the Avs would have to lose that many
95%.
games.
Yeah, the Avs
but it
are
is possible.
106 points right now.
Not
The Avs are
mathematically
106 points.
Mathematically
get to
possible, but
106.
improbable.
I love Ashley's positiveness. She never looks on the negative side like me.
Yeah.
I've got to cancel out. I've got to find that middle ground because both of you go like this. So I tend to be like right here.
Late in the game, they did not pay penalty free. Torpachenko got called for one, playing a little aggressive in the offensive zone.
But you know what, guys? I like his aggressiveness. I like for young players to be aggressive. If it ends up in a penalty, you talk to him afterwards. You don't yell at him. You say, "Hey, nice aggressiveness, but next time make sure you don't do this." That's how you teach
don't take the penalty. But then again, this is a team I think you could take the penalty on, right?
Yeah,
you're up 3-1. You're up 3-1.
Penalty kill did a great job.
You're up 3-1. You've got one of the best penalty kills in the league against one of the worst penalty or power play teams. You take a penalty here. You know what? Okay, the penalty kill really did need some work tonight.
Yeah, you know
That's
what
how
I think,
look at it, right?
What I think is funny, all these people that hated it when Seattle took Vince Dunn in the expansion draft, I said he's going to be the player he is for the rest of his career. He's great. He's got 7 goals, I think 22 assists or 23 assists, but he's minus 18 still. Terrible defense, great offensive guy. To me, he's a poor man's Kevin Shattenkirk. Great offensively, terrible defensively.
Vince Dunn is
minus 18.
20 has 7 goals, 22 assists, 29 points. He is minus 18. He has 53 penalty minutes. He has 2 power play goals, no shorthanded, no game-winning goals. Has taken 105 shots and is a 6.7. He averages about a little over 20 minutes of time on the ice.
Good offensive defenseman, terrible defensive defenseman.
64 blocks or 64 hits, 69 blocks.
And Guy, I don't know if you've watched very many Kraken games. I've watched a lot, and I'm going to tell you this. There's times I look at him and go, man, why did the Blues get rid of him? And then 2 minutes later, he makes a stupid play just like he used to with the Blues.
Yeah. I'm with you. Torp is showing greatness. I've liked Torp for a while. I have liked Torp for a while.
He's impressing me. I thought he'd be decent, but he's better than I thought he would be so far.
I watched some of his games in the KHL, and he was what I thought he was going to be. Right. We got your for some reason Dale's got your back. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Positivity.
Talking about her positivity.
Do we make the playoffs? Yes, Brad Pond. We will make. We haven't made them yet, but we are going to make them. Magic number sits at 15, and currently, oh my goodness, thank you, Bo Harvat and Brad Richardson. The Canucks are now up 2-1 with 1:05 to go in the first on the Golden Knights. They win that. If the Canucks win that game, the magic number will be 13 or 6.5 wins. I know I'm weird. I know I'm weird in the way I like stats and the way I look at stats and all of that stuff. But for me right now, that 105 point mark to make the playoffs was never going to happen. I always thought it was 100 points. Right, I thought 100 points, you're in. You're solidly in. Oh, they're coming for me.
They're coming for Guy.
Yep. And I think that's right now we're at what with today's win, we are now at 88 points if I'm right.
90.
I thought it was 88.
Points. 90 points.
90 points.
I'm pretty sure it's 90. Away.
5 wins. Right. 5 wins. Those games. I'm telling you what. Friday and next Saturday are the most important 2 games of the season, right? I think that they are more important than any other game you can look at between now and the end, and that's it, right? And unfortunately, you need to win them both. You need to win them both because they got a game in hand. But you win those 2 games, and you really put Minnesota. You take the driver's seat. You really take the driver's seat, and Minnesota's got a hard road to hoe. I think we got a little bit better road to hoe, and I think we're playing better hockey right now than Minnesota is, even with Fleury being in net. Fleury got toasted yesterday. He did not look good at all.
Just so you know, I did get it correct. It is 90 wins, or not 90 wins, 90 points. We have 40 wins, 20 losses, 10 overtime losses.
Boy, you are positive. 90 wins in an 82-game season?
Yeah, I know, right? My stomach's got me all kinds of messed up, but I mean, 90 points. 90 points.
You know, the gold standard for me is 50 wins. That's the number you should be at the beginning of the season. You should write up on the board 50, 10, or 50, 20, and 12. Right? Yeah. That's the standard.
Yeah, my goal is always 95 to 100 points, because if you can get somewhere in there, you're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. You know, pretty much, you know, that, but you could look at 98 being the number this season. It really could be that number for Dallas. You know, it's going to be close to that. You know, however, the thing that I look at right now for me is it's the Blues take care of business. In all actuality, does Minnesota matter? No, they don't. If they take second, they take second. Are we going to end up in that wild card spot? Probably not. It would take a miracle. It would take just a collapse. And if we end up in a wild card spot, you're right. We ain't going past the first round. It's that first round matchup. And as long as that matchup is Minnesota, I give the Blues the better chance to win. Mm-hmm. I really do. I mean, I know statistically at some point you have to lose a game to them being 10-1-1, but I can see them taking 4 out of 7 easily. I can see it. It just, Minnesota's, it's that monkey on the back. The Blues are the monkey on the back to Minnesota. And because of that, tired, but you guys are so addicting to watch. I don't know about that. Didn't bust players with negative points on. Don't bust players with negative points. You know what, John? No, because it's that player's job to not be to not be crap. You know, and then again,
and John, I would agree with you a lot of times, but Vince Dunn is the same player he was with the Blues. He's not made any progress. If let's say all of a sudden he went from a -12 to -18 guy to a -40 guy. Yeah, I would say it's the team he's on. But if you watch him play, John, over this year, he has times of brilliancy like he had with the Blues, and I'm not trying to knock him. He's a great, not just good, he's a great offensive defenseman. Defensively, he's just not good.
A lot of people call him a traffic cone. I don't like the traffic cone reference. I really don't. I hate that.
And I do think it makes, if he was on a good team, I think he'd still be -10 to -12. Yeah, you know, I still think he would be that.
You know, you are what you are, right?
Yeah.
Are you guys, I got to ask this, are you guys excited for tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Right? I know, Lance, I know you're not going to be on tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure you're going to watch.
I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, I don't think you've had Tony on your show before, have you?
No, I haven't, but I did talk to him at a game for about 10 minutes. He was up at the suite right above my club seats.
Yeah.
And very super nice guy, you know, just down to earth. And if somebody wouldn't have pulled him back into the club suite, I probably would have talked to him for an hour.
Yeah, no, I've talked to him on the phone twice now, and he said things to me.
I love the fact he called me big boy, and then Brett Hall calls me a big old bastard. So I think I got it good there. So
yeah. I can't wait to talk to us. And here's the thing that I'm thinking of, and don't you can hate me for, I've already talked to him about this, about opening doors for me. That dude said absolutely. Absolutely. You know, he's like, I love what you're doing. I love how you're
guy, which doors? The doors to the dungeon or the doors to the upper club? Which is it?
You know what? It doesn't matter. As long as those doors got guys behind them that'll come talk to me, I'll take it.
Yeah.
One of the guys, actually, I need to ask you this, Lance, and I know I normally do not ask you these type of questions online, but the guy, the goaltender, I think it was McLennan. Is that
McLennan? Yeah.
I know you know him. Please reach out to him for me.
I would be so happy to have Jamie McLennan on here.
He had a nickname, and
Noodles.
I saw it.
Noodles.
Noodles, right?
Noodles. Yep.
And he told a story about Twist on one of his podcasts
On Sportsnet. Yeah, I saw
yeah,
it.
on Sportsnet
Yep.
about Twist coming in and somebody like giving McLennan a little bit of crap, and Twist had said, "You no," came out and just the next time just pounded on him. Right,
Mhm.
just pounded on him. Twist was that guy, and in talking to Twist, I don't want to give stuff away. I know he's going to graciously take your questions, right? I mean, and we're going to show as many as we can. You have to understand, you might not all get them. I'm going to show as many as we can. It is an uncensored show tomorrow. Understand
And I'm
that.
going to tell you something like Brett Hall. He pulls no punches. He's not going to BS you. He's not going to
No.
be politically correct. He will
No.
tell you the truth.
Yes. Right. So if things upset you, you need to not watch tomorrow's show.
Yeah, if you're the type of person that doesn't like any cussing, you might want to watch it later so you can kind of move past certain things.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's going to drop F-bombs every 2 minutes, but you're going to find some things that maybe, you don't like. So
this man fought the best man at his wedding 3 times. Come on now.
you know what else that shows? It shows how much respect he had for Bob Probert.
Oh yeah. No, it's not just that. It was pizza and beer, they called it.
Mhm.
Right? I watched one of the things,
Yep.
and I thought this was so neat. Winner buys the pizza, loser buys the beer.
Everybody
And
wins.
Huh?
Everybody wins that way.
Yeah, that's kind of the way they did it. Yeah, no, Tammy, I thought it was a good game tonight. It's a good win. I'm not going to get down on them. There's things I think they can
Yeah.
do better, but you know what?
Yeah.
Not tonight.
Great win.
Because tonight is all about Friday.
Yep. Moving to Friday.
Tonight is about Friday, and that's for me exactly where it comes. It
And
is
guys,
absolutely
it's really
about
easy
Friday.
for a team like the Blues to not take Seattle seriously, but they didn't do that tonight. Was it their best game? No. Was it a very good game? Yeah, especially in that third period, they showed why they're the playoff team and why Seattle isn't.
Right? They were, and right now, at the end of the first, the Canucks are still up 2-1. Eichel got a goal for the Knights at the 12:02 mark, his 10th of the season. Hovart, he's been around a while, right? Gets a power play goal at 16:38 of the first from Larson and Pitterson. And then Brad Richardson gets his third of the season from Dixon and Garland to make it 2-1 as they get ready to go to the second period. Getting better at that, I think. Yes, sir.
I've been wondering, and I think Ashley is too. You came up with the song with the Age of Bennington.
Yeah.
Do you have one for Huso yet?
Yes. Yes, I do. I just haven't recorded it. Right?
We've got to. Yeah, you'll have to throw that in sometime.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a hint. Flip flopping around.
Flip flopping around. Okay.
Do you get it?
I think so.
To the tune of flip sliding away.
That's what I thought. Yeah, when you said flip flopping around.
Yeah. Right. And because that's what he does. Flip flopping around. The closer the puck gets to the net, the more you're flip flopping around.
Start recording it, Ashley. It's going to be a big hit.
No.
We're going to hear it. We're going to hear it on 98.1, 107.5, or 7.7. It's going to be all over the charts.
It is.
Guy Bensing and his non-existent quartet.
No, I think it fits. I really think it fits. You watch it, and that was the thing about the Edmonton game. I think it was the Edmonton game, either Edmonton or Calgary. One of the goals, he was laying on the ice, and the puck was 10 foot away from the crease, right? And they scored that goal. I think that's the one that made it 3-0, right? That's because he flip-flops too much, and I saw it tonight. I saw him down on the ground too much. I saw him always. He goes down way too quick, and when you're flip-flopping, you can't get back up. You don't need to go down unless you have to go down. And I've seen it, and it's the one thing.
Hey, talking about flip-flopping around, I don't mind a goalie doing it. Hasek did it. Hasek's one of the best to ever play the game.
Yeah.
The difference between a bad flip-flop and a good flip-flop is if the goalie can stay in control and get back up quickly. We saw the other night against the Coyotes, their rookie goalie was very slow side to side and couldn't get up very quickly. Husso's
Right.
normally up pretty quick, but yeah, you're right. He does go down an awful lot.
But Benny gave up the first 4 of that game. No, it wasn't Edmonton. It was Calgary that he did it. It was Calgary. It wasn't Edmonton. But no, it was, and he flip-flops way too much. He's always, and a lot of times that he's doing it, he doesn't have the puck, right? And you see the puck get squirted out and things like that. He was better tonight, but he did do some things. Hey, who asked for this? Was this
Ashley, you have a headache.
Yeah.
I can tell.
No, I'm about to give her another
in your
one.
eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a McDonald's headache.
Here's another one. Oh my God, Scandella's the worst fucking defenseman, and I'm sorry, I'm going off. I'm so sick and tired of you. Scandella's so fucking bad. He can't play worth a shit. Fucking trade Scandella for a goddamn bag of pucks right the fuck now. It don't work that way, people.
Be nice if it did.
Yep. Yeah.
That just made Ashley's headache go away.
Yeah.
It's still there, and my stomach's churning, but I'm here.
I was always expecting Ashley to go off like that on Scandella.
No, he was going off about Ashley, who wasn't here.
Oh, okay.
Yes, basically, yeah. It wasn't Scandella I was going off on. It wasn't. It was the Scandella narrative. I love that word. I think that's the neatest word in the world. Narrative.
Isn't that a government project, the CIA, the Scandella narrative?
It might be. No, and yes, Golf King, you can take your bow, right? That is all on you. You got me going on that one.
Do you have it? Do you have a clap soundtrack so you can clap for him as he takes his bow?
Absolutely, we do.
I'm proud of you, Golf King.
No, that's the thing that's going on. There's a couple things, as we're talking about hockey, we're talking about the show, we're talking about different things that happen, and you say Twister has a foul out. I try, I really do. I get. Now, look, I don't want to say this in a really, because I know there's somebody out there that used to watch the show religiously, but felt that us censoring people just made it not for him anymore. It's not, look, we can all curse. We can curse left, right, and center. I can say a complete sentence using only the F word, and you'll understand what I was talking about. Trust me, I've done it. I've done it.
Isn't that a requirement to go in the Navy, though, Guy?
You better learn it quickly. Okay, you better learn it quickly. And I have sat there with my 3 or 4 guys after a mistake that cost. I let go. I did complete sentences using only the F-bomb.
I've yet to meet a Navy guy that doesn't have the gift for cussing. I've yet to meet one.
Right. So for that, but at the same time, look, I want to do this professionally, guys. I want you to understand that. I want to somehow end up with a radio show or a column or so. I want to do this professionally. Yes, I need to work so much more. I need to write more. I need to do more. And I get that. One of the things is, if you're known for the language, they're just you're never going to get looked at. Right. I'm not Jamie Rivers. I never played the game professionally. I can't use that as part of, I can do it both ways. I don't have that. So it has to be me. And while, yes, I can do that, I also have to show that I can't do that I can back off it, because I do think that I'm good enough to do this professionally. Maybe you don't, but I really, really do. I think I have the voice for it. I think I have the knowledge for it. I think I have the I can argue, I can discuss, I can debate, I can do all those things, and I can do it about different topics.
Hold on a minute. My alarm's going off on my dang phone. Hold on.
Okay. yank Lance for a second. I did not even watch.
Well, if
the
I
pre-
didn't feel that way about you guy, I wouldn't be here right now.
Oh, I know, and I get that, and I love you for it. I really do. It's on Twitter. I think he's talking about the rant. As long as you have a producer to push your button. Yeah, that would help. But I don't, so I have to deal with what I got. Okay, the Lance is back. But
You got to keep Ashley in the middle. That way she can separate us so we're not at each other's throats.
yeah, well, I wonder if sometimes Nick says she'll be the button guy. I do my best, and that's and I learned something today. I really did. Tony said something to me, and it resonated, and be honest, it takes a lot to resonate with me. But he said, I never had any competition. Even in any business I owned, I never had competition. My only competition was me. And you know what? I've not looked at things that way, and that's what I need to do. I need to make me my competition. I need to worry about my writing and not somebody else's. I need to worry about my show and not somebody else's. I need to worry about what I say and not what somebody else says. I need to worry about what I do and not what other people do. And that's what I'm going to try. And that's what I think I've done all day today. Right? I've been I haven't like been cautious or anything, but I've been doing the things that I need to do. Right? Oh yes, the show is uncensored tomorrow. Right? It is uncensored. However, when I say that, it doesn't mean I will show every comment.
Shit.
I have to
practicing.
be careful.
I'm just practicing.
Yeah, because I do know that he has some beliefs that are not politically correct, and I know that people may get upset. They may. Well, Lance, hold on.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people that will whine and get upset about it.
But if they do, but that's their right. That's their right to get upset.
It's his right to have his opinion too.
And it is. And I have to walk that I have to walk that thin line. And it is a thin line. Right? Nick says he's bringing a sign to hold up.
I think you will find that a lot of NHL players do not agree with mainstream media and their views on certain things. NHL players are honest, heartfelt guys, and if they've got a view on something, they're going to say it. And I applaud them for it. You know, I don't agree with all of them, but you know.
All right. Well, Mike, thank you, Mike. And you've been a great friend. Mike's one of those original guys that found me from the beginning and has been a huge friend to me and a lifter of the show. And you know, like Lance, he's become a good friend of yours too. Mike is that guy. Mike is just that guy, and
he's a terrific
I greatly
person.
appreciate who he is and what he does.
Yeah, and you know, you guys always saying that you know we respect everybody's opinion. We may not agree. Well, if you think I argue with Guy a lot, you ought to see some of my messaging between Michael, Dante, and myself. But you know what? It's like Guy said, at the end of the day, we respect each other's opinions. And I ask that everybody.
Now you get why I call him Dante's Inferno.
Yeah. But I ask everybody to respect Tony Twist's opinion, even if you disagree with him.
Yeah. And you know, same here, you know. But this is a good get for the show. This is a very popular guy. This is a guy that can get us open to other people. You know, if I'm going to get Brett Hull, he's the guy that's going to get Brett Hull on the show. If
anybody can, it will be him.
Him or Chaser, right? And not only
that,
it'll
be him.
It'll
be Tony. It'll be him.
Right? You know, because he'll tell Brett, you know what? Quit being a jackass and get your ass. Go do an hour with them, and you know what? You're gonna frickin' enjoy it. Go do it and just do it. Damn it! And that's what he's gonna do, and that's what I love.
And don't get your feelings hurt if Brett says something about you, because he will say stuff that may hurt some people with, with thin skin.
But see, that's the thing.
But that's why I love him. The time I got to spend them couple hours at Grant's thing, some of the best time in my life. He said some things I didn't agree with, but dang, he said his opinion. And if you didn't like it, he's sorry. But hey, that's his opinion. I respect him for that.
Yeah, no, he has, and he's brought up, you know, I watched an interview that he did shortly after the 99 season when he ended up going to Dallas, right? and he was physically and visibly. Yes, I got Twist tomorrow. I've been promoting it tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Tony Twist will be live on this channel.
So
You're going to
excited.
be able to ask him questions. It's
And
not
he
a
will be-
recorded interview.
He will be the livest person guys ever had. I love Mike Zook, and I really love Gary Unger, and you all know I love Grant Fury. He's been on my show, but this is going to be the liveliest guest I think Guy has had.
Yeah, I think he's going to be up there with Butcher. Right? He's going to be up there with Butcher. Right?
Man, I'm so jealous. I wasn't around when you guys interviewed Fuhr.
Oh no! Well, see, Fuhr's the one that opened this all up for me, and I know Lance had something to do with it. I know he at least thrown my name in, but I did my interview with Jim Thomas, and not even 2 hours after I released that interview, it was early in the morning. It was the next day, early in the morning, 6 a.m. my time. I get a private message on Twitter from Grant Fuhr saying, "Hey, Guy, I'd love to do an interview with you." I almost shit a brick.
Yeah. I mean, and it was a great interview. I loved watching it. It's just, I was totally jealous because he's like my favorite goalie. So.
Hey, no, you know what, Nick? It's okay. You know, it is what it is. He will be on at 8 p.m. St. Louis time, Central Daylight Time. I don't know what. I know you guys are all in different time zones in that. We're going to have him on. I might come on about 15 minutes earlier just to make sure I don't have any technical difficulties. And if by some reason, my account gets blocked, I can get another account up, get it going. It's not happening while he's here. So the show may be on. I may be on a little bit early to just make sure all that, because I really want you guys to enjoy Tony Twist. This isn't for me. Trust me. I can talk to the guy all day long. I know that. This is for you guys. This is for you guys. And yes, I'm an interviewer. Yes, I do know how to interview, and I know what I'm doing. I know what kind of questions I want to ask. I know what you want to ask. I kind of can lead him, but it's not for me. This is for you. This is for each and every single one of you that follows this show regularly, right? And not only that, we got him on Cardinal opening day. What a big day in St. Louis. You can watch the Cardinals probably lose because they normally lose on opening day. And then turn around and see Tony Twist on the Blue Note Fan Report.
Can I say something? This is to the St. Louis media.
Yes, sir.
To all the St. Louis media. Please do not do what you do every single year. Once the Cardinal starts playing, the Blues get put on the third, fourth burner in the back. Yep. And guys, if you want to help the Blues grow, please don't do that. I love the Cardinals, and I know what they mean to this city. They've been around much longer than the Blues. They've had much more success than the Blues. But if you're the media, please stay on top of the Blues. I know you're going to have the Cardinals on more. And you're going to put the Cardinals over the Blues, and I understand that. But please don't put them on the back burner.
Well, that's why they went to 101. And that was a smart move. I'm sorry. That was a smart move for the Blues. Right? It was a very smart move. They went to ESPN. They went to a radio that's, you can listen to on an app, very easily. So you get them much easier than you could have before. Yeah. You don't have to worry about them being, in a different place. And one of the issues that I'm concerned about now is with the Cardinals being on. I know the Blues, if they're on together, the Blues go to Bally Sports 2. Yep. I don't know if I'll be able to see it on the app.
I think you should be able to.
Right? Yeah. I don't need to see it on the app because I have, ESPN, and I've got other things where I can kind of cover it. But I like watching the Bally feed because it's a better feed in my eyes, and I don't have the other delays. I just have the Bally delay.
And I want to tell everybody, Bally's announced about 6 months ago that they're working on building their app so you can just have the Bally's app and you don't have to have DirecTV or AT&T or any of those services. They're getting close to doing that. I don't know how far
it's going to be Bally Plus is basically what it's going to be.
Yeah, but it's going to be anywhere from $9.99 to $14.99 a month, from what I'm told.
Yeah. And it's going to basically what it's going to do if you buy the Bally's app. Now, here's the thing with the Bally Plus, and this is the one issue I have with it. it's the zone that you're in. If
Yep.
I buy Bally Plus,
Yep.
I get the West Coast Bally's.
Yep. You're going to
I
get the
don't
Ducks,
get-
the Kings.
I
the
can't
Sharks.
choose the
Yep.
St. Louis Bally.
Yep.
Right? I wouldn't get the Sharks. I would get the Kings and Kings
The
and
Ducks.
Ducks. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I would get.
Yeah.
So that is what it is.
Hey, I'll tell you something off air, guy.
Yeah. Dale saying the Blues are on his front burner.
Good.
Go ahead, Lance.
I'm just going to tell you something off air. I don't want to say it on air.
What? Off air.
Yeah, I want to tell you something off air.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Yep.
Boo guy, boo. Okay, what did I do wrong? Who knows? So let's talk about tonight real quick. What did this tell us? What did you see tonight? What did this tell us about the Blues? Because we have a big game coming up on Friday. What did you see tonight that tells you what this narrative is going to be on Friday? And I'll start with Lance.
I think what I saw tonight, and I brought it up earlier, it showed me that this is one of those trap games, that you could look at it as a team that's, up in the standings, and you look down at this team that's 8th in the Western, in the West, or in the Pacific, I'm sorry. But, it just goes to show you that they weren't looking to Friday. And there's been times in the past where I think they've done it, like when Chicago's coming up on a game to play against them, and the 3 or 4 days before, they just don't play great. I think it was a complete game, and it kind of showed me that they're not looking forward, and you can't look forward in the NHL. You end up losing these type of games, and the Blues took this game seriously. Like I said, the third period, they really came out and said, okay, we're not going to let this team do anything else to us. And that was very, very good for me to see. And another good thing is Berube didn't flip-flop through the game in his playing style. He stuck with the same playing style, the same way he was going to play them, and it was working, and he didn't change. And I think that's a good omen for the Blues moving forward.
Oh, I agree with the majority of what you said there, bud. Oh man, me and my stomach. Ashley, are you okay?
I am probably going to have to hop off.
All right.
Okay, no
I'm
problem.
sorry,
Ashley.
guys.
That's all right.
No problem.
take-
Have a
take-
great night, Ashley.
take
We'll
two
see you
Excadrin.
tomorrow.
Mhm.
Make sure you get better for tomorrow.
Yep.
I have ESPN Plus. I like that because the different sports and things.
Yeah.
But for me, what I saw tonight was a team that came out and said, "Okay, we get it. We get it. We can't do this. You can't go down and play back for 10 minutes, especially with good teams. You gotta take you get to your game first. They got to their game first tonight. I saw that. They created just about every penalty that Seattle did was created by Blues play. Right? They weren't bad penalties. They were penalties that were created by the Blues. I like that. I like that a lot because, and I got to tell you something, Lance. I pulled this up today, and I've always known that there was something to be said about this, and I kind of talked to you about it a little bit. I want to bring this up, and I want to show you something, and it's really it's a very interesting thing that I have here. This is I took the stats. You're able to take the stats and put them in an Excel sheet, and I did that, and then I added my own stat.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this.
Yep.
But if you look here, this is it. If you look all the way over in this last column here, right? That last column I call overall special teams.
Mm-hmm.
And overall special teams is a combination of net power play and net penalty kill.
Mm-hmm.
Net power play takes your power play and subtracts shorthanded goals against.
Yep.
Net penalty kill takes your penalty kill and adds shorthanded goals for.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is the best way to understand how good your special teams are. Now, what does this really mean? Well, let me look at the bottom real quick, right down here at the bottom. Montreal Canadiens, they are last at 85, and I got to look a little close, 85.6, right? You look at Arizona Coyotes, 86.4. The Detroit Red Wings, 87.2. Flyers, 87.5. The Kraken, 90.1.
I think what you're getting at, Guy, and I hope everybody understands this, is these two numbers corrugate to really greatly to show you how good a team is, because all those teams on the bottom are teams that aren't making the playoffs. And it goes to show you how the negative, when you give up a shorthanded goal or when you score a shorthanded goal, it shows you how much it helps you win, and it can cause you to lose.
Oh, now let's look at the top of this list. The Toronto Maple Leafs, 117.5.
Yep.
Class of the league. Carolina Hurricanes, 111.8. They're one win away or one loss away from the other team of clinching a playoff spot. Right? At 111.6 is the St. Louis Blues. Right? These are your top. At 110, you have the Rangers. Then you have the Flames at 108.4. Notice how it starts dropping off. Avalanche are at 104.9. That's huge. That's a big difference, right? That tells you in a series that you have an opportunity to use your special teams to your advantage, right? The teams that are good with special teams are the teams that are going to be in the playoffs. They are the teams that should be considered the favorites, the teams that have the most likely chance of advancing in the playoffs. The Wild, everyone talks about the Wild. Well, the Wild are points ahead of us. The Wild are 24th, right? 24th overall in the league. And make sure I get the number right. 95.2. 95.2. Look at that difference, right? That's huge in my eyes. It really is, and that's why I have a better feeling about this team matching up against the Wild in that first round.
Yeah, I love the stat for the regular season, but there's been times, and I'm not saying this is going to happen this year. There's times the Blues have had the number 1 power play and the number 5 penalty kill or 6 penalty kill going to the playoffs, and their power play, and they lose in the first round, and their power play ends up being 15th in the playoffs. If they can continue to do what you've shown they can do, they've got a much better chance of beating the Avalanche. And I'm not trying to diss them and saying that they're going to have a hard time with the Avalanche, but I do agree this. If they play the Avalanche in the second round and beat them, they're going to the Stanley Cup. I'm with you there. They're going to the Stanley Cup. I just don't want to see a hiccup in the first round because I personally don't think that, in my mind, Berube as a coach and the team cannot continue to lose in the first round. Losing in the second round isn't any better, but I think if your team consistently challenged for the finals of the conference, you're a good coach and you're a good team. If you keep losing in the first round for 3, 4, 5 years, you're a good regular season team. The Blues have the talent to go far in the playoffs. And I think they've got that they're playing well, but I think there's another notch they can step it up. And if they do step up that notch, like I said earlier, between the second and third periods, they can beat anybody and everybody in this league handily.
Yeah, no. If you want to know, Dante says, "Well, can you pinpoint the area that?" It's simply this: they score more goals, and they have finally gotten to the point where they are allowing less goals than us. At one point, we were doing really good in our defense at not allowing goals, but we fell into that narrative of our defense is bad, so we're just going to start allowing all these goals, and that's where some of that came from, right? But overall, I don't think the Avs are that much better than us. I really don't. I think that they got hot at the right time when the Blues didn't. And they also, you got to understand, how many games did the Blues, in this season, how many games did the Blues have postponed? 4.
4, yeah.
4 games. I think the Av had like 10.
I think it was 10 or 12, yep.
Yeah. So they had, when they didn't have players, they had games postponed. The Blues are the only team in the league that did not have a game postponed because the Blues because the Blues had players on
COVID protocol. Yeah.
Every other team had a game postponed because their team had players on COVID protocol.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge to me. That's a huge thing. So while the Blues were dealing with all of that, other teams were being given passes. And in February, when all those teams that got passes were healthy, the Blues just didn't play.
Yeah,
they didn't have the games.
And you know,
and they got taken advantage of.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, what a lot of people don't understand are, everybody a couple nights ago said, well, the Blues have 16 games in 29 nights. So that's going to be tough. Well, look at how many games Minnesota has in so many nights. Look at how many games the Wild have in so many nights.
Everybody's at the same number. Everybody's at the same number right now.
But you know what? The Blues played through things. They put a team on the ice and they battled. I've been impressed, and you and my guy are not Berube fans, but the biggest thing, and I know we both agree, one of the big things is he changed his style somewhat. But I think the biggest thing is he got these people, these guys, these AHL players to come up and play good roles. Not great, but good enough roles to get the Blues some wins they probably shouldn't have got. And that is the key to this season so far.
Absolutely. No, so Berube in December was forced, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe he did do it on his own, but it felt like he was forced to let those guys play their game.
You could see it on the ice.
Huh?
You could see it on the ice.
Yeah, right? And when he did, it worked. However, one bad game, and he stopped it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? But bad games are going to happen. It wasn't a series of bad games.
Yeah.
It was one bad game. It was one bad shift. It was things like that. That's the issue that I have with Berube.
When he allows guys like Kyrou and Thomas and O'Reilly to do their things and don't expect them to be top 5 in the league and two-way players, this team can score 4 or 5 goals a game, 6 goals a game. When he makes them play the defense first style, they're a 2 to 3 goal team is what they are.
Yep. Right. The Blues actually only have 7 20-goal scorers. They could have 9.
They could have 9 total.
They could have 9 total. Yes.
I think they will.
Oh, I'm pretty. It's close enough, right? O'Reilly's at 17 now, and Thomas is at 16.
16. Yeah.
Right. How long will Berube keep Walker up? Walker's not going down.
I don't think Walker's going down this season, though.
Nope. He solidified himself. I think that Walker and Torpachenko have shown that they are more NHL ready than Joshua and Kostin. Yes on one, no on the other.
Yeah, I think Joshua and Kostin are more ready than Torpachenko. I really do. Because here's the thing, when Kostin makes a mistake, he sits him out 4 games, and I've seen some mistakes by Torpachenko, and he doesn't sit him out because he's his kind of player, high motor, goes out and hits people, does things in the corners, and that's a Berube player. So naturally, he's going to stay up more. I'm shocked because Joshua's a two-way player that Joshua hasn't been up more.
Joshua to me is the guy that's not the NHL ready player, right?
No, I'm not saying he's going to play every night. I'm just saying I'm shocked he hasn't been up more than he has.
No, I saw that. I just saw with Joshua, there's some big holes in Joshua's game. And for me, he's not blowing it away in Springfield.
Nope.
Where Walker was, where Torpachenko was, where Kostin kind of is.
Well, Walker's a little bit older than Kostin and Joshua, so he's got some more professional experience than the two of those guys do.
Oh yeah,
I would expect him to be better, and right now he is better.
No, and it's not that I know you don't think he's an NHL player overall, but I do, and I think he could, given a full season, crack the second line.
I don't think he's an 82 game season guy, without injuries. I just don't. I think you bring him up and he plays 50 to 60 games. I just don't see him being, especially as deep as his team is and all the young guys they have. I don't see him, getting big minutes, 8 to 12 minutes a game, maybe, but I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if he's any higher than the third line, for most nights that he's in the league.
I can see him being with that energy. I could see him being a second line guy, getting 15 minutes.
But if you've watched him
producing,
if you've watched him when they play him more, there are some holes in his game because of that energy and the way he attacks. He gets out of position sometimes. That's my only issue with him, is he hasn't quite learned in the NHL game enough to attack, but sometimes you got to set back and hold that position. Otherwise, I think he's great. He's a great spark. He's a guy that every now and again he's going to give you 2 goals, and you're going to be shocked that he did it, but it's because of his work ethic.
Yeah. Let me address this real quick. Does anybody know what happened to Eric Foley, the guy we got for Stastny? Yes, I do know.
Yep.
He ended up getting 2 concussions. The last one he has not recovered from.
Yep. And also
he was released by the Blues. He's out of hockey completely.
Yep. And also, I know you guys love the fact that he was everybody said he was a top guy and was going to be a number 2 power forward. He's too small for that. He's like 5'11", 5'10", 190. Yeah, that's a decent sized guy, but I never expected him to really make the team.
And not only that, the same guy gave him both concussions.
That's right. Isn't that strange?
Yeah. It's just really a weird.
And I feel bad for the guy because he had a shot at getting in the NHL. I just don't think the hype that the Blues gave him that was going to end up being the guy that the Blues hyped him to be. I think he would have been a 3rd or 4th line guy.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing with this one. Kostin just needs time to mature like Perron did. No, it's time to cut bait with Kostin. I really do think that if you could package Kostin with something, package Kostin. I was all on Kostin's bandwagon. I'm not anymore. Right.
Yeah. But guy, he's only 21, 22. You don't give up on a 21, 22-year-old guy because it's going to come back and bite you in the butt 2 or 3 years later when he's scoring 15, 20 goals a year.
He was a 1st round draft pick, be it 31st overall in 2019.
Guy, how many
2019?
Go back
20,
to 20,
21,
go back to 2019.
22, 3 years. 3 years. You should, as a 1st round pick, you should be up already.
He's only played 30, 40 games. It's hard to come up and play when they won't let you play every time you make a mistake.
They left him in Russia. They left him in the KHL and said, stay there.
Yeah.
We don't even want you to come up now for a whole season.
That's because he's not Mr. Berube strong two-way defensive guy. And I'm sorry, you can't expect every player on your team to be great defensively. You can't. Brett Hall went to Dallas. Was he okay defensively in Dallas? Yes. Was he good or great? No. You can't expect those type of guys. I say you hold on to him for a couple more seasons and make sure he gets a chance. Because I'm just afraid that somebody's going to get him and he's going to be 25, 26 years old scoring 20 goals, and people are going to say, why didn't Berube keep him? He might be a minus 12.
I mean, okay, here's the problem. You want to know what the problem is with Kostin? 2 things. A, he hasn't this season, but he takes way too many penalties. And B, he just doesn't fit the system. He's not, and that's not on him. That's on the system not adjusting to him. If the system adjusted to him, then maybe.
Kyrou doesn't fit Berube's system. Thomas doesn't fit Berube's system. There's a bunch of players on this team that don't fit Berube's system.
Right, I
can see why you would think.
Okay,
he deserve
Kyrou doesn't fit the system, but Kyrou has 20 goals this season.
That's because
Thomas doesn't fit the system.
That's
but
because
Berube's
changed the system a little bit.
Right.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Berube was all staunch still every game on defense first, Kyrou would have 8 goals.
And that's might be. I'm not gonna argue with that because I think you're right. But it comes down right now with me with Kostin. You know, I was all on the Kostin bandwagon, and this season should have been it for me. He should have been up this season, and they put him down. And the guys that have come up have played better than he did when he was up.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of times in the KHL, penalties that are called in the NHL are let pass in the KHL. If you've got a guy that's used to playing a certain style and used to hitting and using the stick a certain way, and then you bring him to the NHL and you don't beat that out of him and make sure he doesn't do that. You know, I think it's on both of them. Kostin should be better and Berube should let him play more. I think it's on both of them.
I just don't know. I really don't know. I just think I'm okay with the 3-year contract extension. I really am for Berube. However, I just worry, you know, is he going to finally figure it? I'll tell you what, this is the one thing that I think Armstrong needs to do. And Berube may not like it, and a lot of people may not like this, but right now the coaching staff is defensive heavy. He needs a tactician on that coaching staff. He needs an offensive guy He needs a guy that understands offensive play and understands speed on that staff. He needs a guy that's the voice of dissent, right? And it's just like the Supreme Court. When the Supreme Court has a ruling, they rule twice, right? They have the ruling that was the main judgment, and then someone writes the dissent. Why we believe this shouldn't be. You need that in your coaching staff. So you have the guy that says, hey, yeah, I see what you're saying, but you're missing this. It needs to be said. Tage Thompson, now this is a good point. Tage Thompson's doing good, but we got a great piece in return. I could see Costin getting us someone good. I'm with you on that, but Thompson would never have flourished here in St. Louis. I will absolutely stand on that rock till I'm 20 feet underwater. He would never have flourished here in St. Louis. He would never have gotten the minutes he's getting. He'd have never gotten on a top line. He'd never have gotten that.
What did we see here, Guy? We saw Berube pulling him out of games when he made a defensive mistake. We saw Berube sitting him for 2 or 3 games. Yeah, Costin would be in the AHL right now if he was with the Blues.
Costin?
Not Costin. Thompson. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree with that. He would still be in the AHL. He would not have gotten enough time up.
No.
I didn't like him being part of that trade, but for him, it was the best thing.
And for O'Reilly, it was the best thing.
Right? Oh, yeah. Right? Absolutely. Wow, what a show today. What a show, Lance. I mean, we kept 15, 20 people entertained for an hour. How the hell did we manage that, Lance?
In the words of Russell Crowe from The Gladiator, do I entertain you?
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Yep. I'm with you there. Are you not entertained?
Hey, guys, Guy and I will argue, and we've said it before. When this show's over, it doesn't matter. We don't hold any grudges, and I respect his opinion. He respects mine, and even if we think each other's wrong, who cares?
Yeah, no, it's that's what makes it good show. Is if all I have is yes men, it doesn't do me any good. Right? It was like when Rob. It was like when Rob was here. A lot of people got upset at Rob for arguing with me all the time, and I was like, no, that's what we need. Right? That's absolutely what we need. Shockey got home 15 minutes ago from the game, and he's still listening to us. Right? Both of you clowns. We love you too, Ashley. I mean, that's what this thing is good. And for that Buffalo trade, yes, I think it was. I think the only reason I think the Blues won that trade is the cup. Yep. Right? And O'Reilly was definitely a part of that cup. Mm-hmm. And he was the most deserving of the Conn Smythe.
Yeah. And if you remember, Guy, the first part of that season, out of Perron, O'Reilly, and Bozak, all of their guys that they traded for or brought back.
Yeah.
O'Reilly was the only one out of all 3 of those that had a great first part of the season.
Oh, yeah. He opened up. He opened up. Yeah.
And then come January and February, man, did he step it up even more than that.
You know what, E? That's not a bad. I know he's done. I don't think he's coached. I know he's been a GM before. He was a GM in Dallas for a little while. I know he's considered an ambassador for the Blues. I don't know if he'd be a good coach. I'm
going to tell you something. He would make sure he wouldn't put up with any BS when he's trying to teach these guys something. And I'm not saying he'd be hard on guys, but he'd be brutally honest with them. And I think some of these young players in the NHL, they're not used to people being brutally honest with them. I think he'd be good, but I don't know if the NHL's ready for Brett Hall as an assistant.
Yeah. That. Well, you already know what happened. You know what happened with Bobby, right?
Yeah.
Bobby got fired from Chicago for remarks that he made, and I to be honest, I don't understand that. You can have your belief. It's just like on this show. Let's say, and I'm going to use my buddy. I'm going to use my buddy Dante. Dante comes on the show and goes on a rant, right? I mean, just goes on a rant and rants about things that people don't like. I simply say the views expressed by, people that join the show are not necessarily the views of this station, of this show. And that's what it is. You have to do that. We've forgotten to do that. We've forgotten that part.
Yeah.
Right? The views expressed by so and so are not necessarily the
Yeah.
views of this organization.
The whole world has forgotten that.
Oh yeah, Hull's emails. Yeah, you never. Those are things that I'd burn my eyes before I read those.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something. John Gruden got fired for emails. If they would use the same, with the judging against Brett Hall and his emails, Brett Hall would be gone after a game.
Yeah, after game, first period.
I love the guy for it. Like I said, I got to spend that time with him. One of the funnest man I've ever got to drink with.
He is my bucket list. He is my. I would let me put it to you this way: if you said, "Guy, I can get you Gretzky, or I can get you Hull. You can only get one, and you got him for an hour, and that's it. You're not getting the other one." I'd still take Hull.
Yeah,
I really would, and I'm probably the only person in the world that would do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a stronger physical, emotional connection to Hull than I ever will to Gretzky, and I love Gretz.
And nothing against Gretz. He's going to be entertaining, and he's not going to pull punches either. He's going to be honest. But Hall's going to be much more animated, much more out there. He's just going to give a different style of interview. And I asked Brett at that thing for Grant, would you come on my podcast? He says, sure, just send me an email. And he gets so busy. I've sent him so many emails that I just decided after about 6 months, I'm going to let it go for a while because I know they're busy and I'm not going to bug him.
Send me that email.
Send
me his email address. I'm absolutely dead serious. Send me his email address because I'm going to take that shot.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's the same one. He had a Blues email address.
I think he still does. I don't think he uses it.
Yeah.
Right, but it is what it is, and you just you do what you can.
And I want to say one more thing. His wife is very nice.
Oh yeah, she is.
She is the sweetest lady. And I told her, I said, man, I said, you are a saint for marrying this guy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She
right.
just kind of
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I've talked to her a couple times. She won't, and she's very adamant. You're not getting to my husband through me.
Nope. Yeah.
Nope.
She's the gatekeeper. Even if Brett told me he would come on, she is the gatekeeper.
Well, but you have to, like, I've asked her about it, and she said, no, you got to go through the Blues. She's not gonna. But she's a great lady. I love her. He's what this town needed. And here's I'm going to ask Twist a question, and I already know the answer to it, and it will surprise so many people. And especially the guys that played from 94 to 99, right? Those guys, even earlier, even 90, even just the 90s, the guys that played in the 90s. I've asked a few of them, do you feel like the 19 team winning that cup was also your cup? And I already know what Twist's answer is going to be, and I'll let him answer it. But there's a lot of the guys like Chase, like Hull, that absolutely. Now Hull's won 2 cups. I think that the Blues winning that cup meant more to him than the 2 cups that he has, than the 2 times he has his name on the cup.
I think he'd probably tell you, he'd agree with you on that.
Right? And Chase will tell you he is a Stanley Cup champion.
Yeah. And you know what's funny about it is that Red Wing team and the Dallas team, they were expected to go to the Cup finals. The Blues weren't expected to go to the Cup finals. Even when Brett played for them, they were favored somewhat. But these guys stick around town and have so much to do with the city. When they won the Cup, I saw people in other cities go, I'm shocked there's so many ex-players. I'm not.
Yeah. No, it is going to be an amazing show.
Should be
an amazing time with Twister tomorrow, guys. Please check it out.
Yeah.
I can't believe, man, I did an hour and 20 minutes yesterday, and we're in an hour and 10 now.
Yep.
How are you feeling, by the way, before we go away?
I'm doing much better, but off and on it kind of has some issues because it was so aggressive, and they had to take out so much stuff besides my prostate. So it's like I said, it went to the bladder and other areas. So it's. It is what it is, but I am much better than I was last week and the week before. I'm just not looking. Good. I'm not looking forward to the radiation. So,
have you started chemo yet?
No, they're going to start it on the 22nd, I think, somewhere in that range in the end of April. Because I got an appointment on the 21st, and that's when we're supposed to go over the next steps and the treatments and everything.
Yeah, that's when you're going to get your little thing put in your chest, right?
I don't know if I don't know what they're going to do exactly. Most of the time they don't do chemo, but if it's super aggressive, they will. Most of the time they just do radiation, and if it's just radiation, I'll have 40 radiation visits, so 5 times a week for 8 weeks.
Well, there we go. Let's check this out. So Golf King's telling me it is 4-1. Wow. Way to go, Vancouver.
Yep.
You know, just when I thought miracles couldn't happen, Vancouver figured out how to play hockey.
Hey, you know what? I don't really want to be hateful with this.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of glad that Vegas has took a step back.
Yeah, they need
because those fans out there need to see what it's like to really be a true NHL fan.
Yep. I know. They need to learn how to lose, and that was that it's going to be a hard lesson, and that's why I like Seattle, what they've done. I think that Seattle did the right thing by
going young,
by waiting, by losing early, by going young and giving a chance to build up.
Yeah, I think in the long run, guy, that's the best model to do it as an expansion team. Yeah. And I think in the long run they're going to have good success. And you and I both said, a lot of people said it, when they signed Pietrangelo, we said they were going to have huge cap issues for the next several years, and they were going to probably have to set guys and do this and that, and that's exactly what they've had to do.
Nope, absolutely it has. And
thanks, Jason.
Right. Well, we take care of you, Lance, and I know you've shut your podcast down, and that's why I've offered you this opportunity, to be on and be able to be connected to the podcast community, and the blues community, and everyone who watches the show absolutely feels for you every day.
Well, thank you, guys.
And even when you're not here, I get asked about you all the time.
I thank you. I appreciate that greatly, and all the support I've had for it and everything. And, we all go through different situations in life. Some are physical, some are mental. And it's always nice to have people there that do care about you.
Well, you know what? That Eichel trade was not for this season, right? No. And it wasn't. Mm-hmm. It was for next season. Mm-hmm. And still, they're going to have to get rid of guys. They're like Stone. They're not going to be able to keep Stone.
I don't think they can either.
Stone is gone. They're going to lose some guys. They're going to have to really rely on younger talent. Mm-hmm. And this is why that Eichel trade is so bad. His contract is so. I mean, you have 2 guys making $20 million. You have 2 guys making what? 2/6, a fifth of your salary cap. 2 guys, a fifth. That's huge. Huge, I say. Right? You can't have 2 guys making that much of your cap.
It's actually just a little. It's actually closer to 4, because 4 times 20 is 80, and the salary cap's $86 million. It's closer to a fourth, but still, that's a lot. That's an awful lot. That's why I like the Leafs and their talent. But I don't see how the Leafs can continue to keep all 3 of those guys. Marner, Nylander are 4 of them, Tavares and Matthews. I think in 2 or 3 years, 1 or 2 of those guys has to be gone to stay competitive.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who needs to leave that team is, and the only reason that I say they need to leave that team is because their legacy is being trapped by that team, and that's Matthews. Yep. I think Matthews needs to go to another team. Matthews needs to go to a team, and he needs to go to a team like Chicago, Detroit, St. Louis, Nashville.
Please don't say Pittsburgh.
He needs to go to one of these teams that he can be the guy. Mm-hmm. Because if he's the guy, that's your next 50-50.
Yeah, could be.
But Jose, I don't think they win the cup, bud. I really don't. I think that they're going to have first round issues again.
Yeah, here's the problem with them right now. It's the problem they had problems defensively and goaltending. Now that they look much better defensively, Morgan Riley's just look great. I mean, he's a great top 5, top 10 defenseman. But with Campbell and their other goalie, Carousel, I still think they're going to have issues goaltending. They're going to have to outscore people in the playoffs by scoring 5 goals a game, 4 goals a game to get to the Stanley Cup. If they don't do that, they're not getting to the Stanley Cup.
Golf King, I don't see him going to Phoenix, to Arizona. I don't. And I know he was raised there.
Yeah, he loves it there, but he ain't going there.
Yeah, he wasn't born there. Actually, he was born in California, but he was
raised
there.
He wants to win. He doesn't want to just go back to his
I don't see him I don't see him going there.
If Phoenix
was ownership group is not
it's a farce
for him.
If Phoenix was a top 4 team in the Western Conference, He'd go there, but he's not going to go there with the way they are now.
I think that team is going to get sold before they move them.
Yeah, and I think they're going to. People in Arizona are going to hate me. AZ Sports guy is going to hate me. But I'm going to tell you, if the NHL keeps giving money to them and keeps giving them different things to keep them in Arizona, it's going to be a terrible thing for the NHL if they stay there.
Well, no, what I think the NHL is going to do, and this is for me, this is kind of different. First of all, I don't think the NHL wants that team to leave Arizona.
They don't.
I think they like that. There's enough people in Arizona. It's a college sports town, and they're trying to turn it into a professional town, right? It's too spread out.
Yep.
But then again, Houston is the same way, right? Kansas City. Is the same way.
San Antonio's the same way.
I think who is?
San Antonio.
San Antonio, yeah.
Yep.
And you can't put them in the East. You can't because you have nobody in the East who can move to the West. Right?
The only team that could guy would be Columbus.
No, because they don't want to put a team. Columbus is still in the Eastern time zone, and they do not want to put an Eastern time zone in the Central.
I know. I'm just saying that's the only team that would make any sense.
Yeah, I mean they're the closest one.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Detroit makes the most sense.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that.
Detroit said we're not moving. We're
not
done.
moving back.
Yeah, right. So for me, I see them going to Arizona and telling the ownership, find a new ownership group.
Yep.
You find a new ownership group. Maybe we'll help you with the money or a little bit, whatever. But find a new ownership group and find an ownership group that is committed
to building a new arena.
And committed to the Arizona.
Yeah,
area.
Because if you've ever been to their arena and the Gila Center or the Gila,
I haven't. I've been next to it.
Yeah,
I haven't been in it.
It's a terrible place for an arena. It's hard to get to, and the parking's a mess. And I'm not saying it would make them a playoff team if they had a new arena. But I think more fans would come out if it was more centrally located.
Yeah, well, the problem is it's in a mall, basically. Yeah. It's in an outdoor mall.
It's an outdoor mall.
So you have parking's free, but it still makes it a lot more difficult in that. Yep. And I stayed in a hotel that was right next to that area. You also have a casino there that adds to it. There's a lot that adds to it. They have taken the team once.
They have. Yep, you're right.
They have taken it once. It's not the only one. Who is the first team that the NHL ever took over?
St. Louis Blues.
St. Louis Blues, right? And absolutely. And then Harry Ornest, man. Harry Ornest doesn't get the credit.
Well, you know what? I don't get Guy. Why so many people hate him? If not for him, the Blues would be in Saskatoon.
Yeah, but it's what he did. It's how he was Now, basically, he came in, bought the team for next to nothing, and then sold it for triple.
Yep.
And he did it. He did it by emancipating the players.
Yeah,
and by alienating the players.
You know what?
And by treating them as second-class citizens.
Yeah, and you know what? I will say this: he didn't do it for the fun of the sport. He did it as a business purchase. That's the only reason Harry Ornest did it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what that was.
Who I miss, Guy? The two guys I miss the most that I got to talk to several times as a teenager. Emil Francis, the cat, and Ron Caron. We had seats where Ron Caron would come up from the press box in the old barn, and we'd be setting up in the yellow seats. He'd come down those stairs and he'd say, "Hey, what's up, boys? You come to another game, eh, boys?" And he knew us by name, and he'd talk to us for like 2 or 3 minutes. Got to go down to the locker room, guys. I'll see you next game. And just super nice guy.
Yeah. The one thing that I have a question. I want to ask Tony about this. So I didn't know this. I was watching some interviews. I didn't know that in '99 that the Blues had passed on Tony in his free agent year.
Yeah. I
didn't know that. I thought that he was negotiating a contract with them when he had his motorcycle accident.
Nope.
And that they had passed on him. I really want to delve into that.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this one thing. Sorry about that. I'm going to tell you one thing is he was very hurt. He was very hurt by it. Hugely hurt.
I know that, and that's why I really want to get into that because. I say, again, the guy lives here and he's always lived here. He didn't move somewhere else. He didn't go back to Canada. He stayed here and he's still a part of, and he was a part of the Blues organization for a while. He was terminated for his language, but it is what it is. But again, he's such an honest guy.
He is. He's brutally honest. And you know what? I'd rather have somebody be honest with me than BS me.
Yep,
I've respected people. I don't care if somebody calls me a name on how they feel about me. At least I know where I stand. I love people like that.
No, the 99 thing was not paying for the physical.
Yeah, and the game was just then starting to change a little bit to where the enforcer was kind of starting to be pushed out. Not a lot of teams wanted those type of guys anymore, and the Blues thought they'd be better off just to move on from him. And then that motor, it was so bad to hear the Blues weren't moving on with him, and then he had that motorcycle accident. I'm like,
it was the same day. It was the same day.
Yeah, same day. He can't win.
Yeah, but I want to get into it. I want to ask him about that. I really do, and I hope he doesn't get. I don't think he'll get upset.
I don't think he will. He was really hurt by the way the Blues treated him that time.
Yeah. And that was Ron Caron. So I want to get into what what did Ron tell? Get into what you can. When you went in there and hey, your time's over, and you're looking at free agency, and you're really thinking that the Blues are all on you, and then what was that meeting with Ron Caron like? How did that go?
Are you sure that wasn't Mike Shanahan?
Oh, it was Ron Caron. I look.
Yeah, you're right. 99.
Shanahan might have owned them, but Caron was the GM.
You're right.
Right. Shanahan owned them, but Caron was the GM.
Caron made the decisions. Yeah.
Caron was the decision, but then again, you don't know. Maybe that was a decision forced by Shanahan.
Could be.
Right, and that's something I want to get into. Okay, guys. Wow, an hour and a half, and we're going to end up doing an hour and a half tomorrow. He's already told me everything's open. He has. And I will double check with him just to make sure.
That's the way I love about guys like that. There's some guys I've talked to that not everything's open.
Yeah.
One thing I did with Grant Fuhrer, I asked him beforehand, do you mind if we talk about the drug scandal?
Yeah.
He's like, no. He said, it's part of my life. I want to talk about it.
Part of my career. Yep.
It was great that he did that, because if he'd have said no, there's no way in heck I would have talked about it.
Yep, same here. And I always ask, is there anything that's off limits? Like when I talked to Rivers, Rivers dying. That's got to be something. But he said it was okay. And I asked him about having his own death certificate, signed death certificate.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's got to be. Talk about the macabre.
That's got to be strange.
Tell you what, and I say this in the weirdest of ways. When he kicks the bucket, if his lot goes on sale, I'm bidding on that. I'm bidding on that. Right? I'm bidding on that because someday that's going to be worth money. Right? The death certificate 2 decades before you died. Right? Right? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to say one thing real quick.
Yeah.
I know that Jamie's put stuff on about Synergy Hockey and sending your kids there. And guys, if you've got money to get your kids trained and you're in the St. Louis area, even if you're 2 or 3 hours away, get in touch with Synergy Hockey. They've got some great people there, like Jamie and some other former Blues players and some other guys that played the game and coaches. And if you want to really help your young kid, please call Synergy Hockey.
Yep. Well, I mean, the guy's training the Tkachuk brothers.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. And that tells you all you need to know. And they are probably two of the most athletic and gifted and imaginative players in the league.
Yeah.
Right. And they practice that stuff. I've seen them do it.
Sure they do. Yeah. Stuff comes by naturally. And then there's stuff that comes by naturally that you practice to make that natural ability better. And that's what they've done.
Yep, absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Okay, Lance, we're a little long, so I'm going to say aloha. Thank you so much for showing up tonight. So this is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan for Lance the Scott, saying aloha, mahalo, and you got to know that we are bleeding blue.